Hey guys, it's Tara. Welcome back to the Three Bookshelves. Today I'm going to be doing the, what is it called? The Abookalypse Tag. The Abookalypse Tag was created by Liv at Read by Liv. I'll link up there and down below. I stumbled upon this tag a few weeks ago, and ever since I've been seeing it everywhere, and anything apocalyptic is right up my alley, so I knew I had to do this tag. And I was actually tagged to do it, and I'm never tagged in anything except by my friend Kaylee, link to her channel down below, who tags me in everything, but she doesn't really count because she's my friend, and it's kind of the unwritten contract of friendship to tag each other in everything, right? But anyway, I was tagged for this tag by Kira at Kira's Kickin' Reads, literally a day before I meant to film it anyway. Timing doesn't get much more perfect than that. Kira's video will be linked down below for you too. And now on to the Abookalypse. Number 1, evacuate. Everyone's out safely and you can go back to grab one book. Which book is it going to be and why? Honestly, if there was only time to grab one thing, it would be my external hard drive that has all of the pictures and videos I've taken of my son since he was born, and it has all of my writing backups, and after that, I would go for food and water and clothes and diapers and the stuffy that my son can't sleep without. But after all of the really important stuff, if I still had time to grab one book, it would be Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This is the tragic story of 4 young children whose mother locks them up in an attic to hide their existence from their grandfather so that she can inherit his fortune when he dies. I'm pretty sure this was the very first adult book that I read. I consider it my gateway into adult fiction. When I was 11, I jumped straight from Babysitter's Club and Goosebumps to V.C. Andrews. This was my absolute favorite book for a very long time. It's still one of my favorites, and I try to read it every year. I think I've read it about 20 times by now, and I know I'm never gonna get tired of rereading it. I know this book like I know the back of my hand, and that familiarity is extremely comforting, and not just in the story, but in this actual physical copy. I've owned many copies of Flowers in the Attic over the years, but this is always the one that I read. This was the one that I originally took off my mom's bookshelf all those years ago, and it just feels right. I'm really not one to get sentimental about books, but if I had to pick one that I am sentimental about, it's gonna be this one. Number 2, it's the Abookalypse. Choose a book that will help you with survival skills. The Martian by Andy Weir. This is about an astronaut who gets stranded on Mars, and in his own words, he sciences the shit out of the situation to survive. And the science is so well explained through this whole book that I hope I'd be able to use some of it to survive myself. But I don't know how I'd feel about fertilizing my own potatoes. Number 3, grab anything you need. Grab a book or fan-related item that you would save. No contest, my replica of Longclaw, which is Jon Snow's sword in the Song of Ice and Fire series and on Game of Thrones. This is enormous. It's a full-size actual sword. Obviously it's blunt because it is a prop sword, but I bet I can sharpen it to actually give it an edge and to make it a real weapon. That would come in pretty handy in especially a zombie apocalypse, although it's not made of actual Valyrian steel, so hopefully there's no White Walkers. Number 4, zombies are coming! Which books on your TBR are you dying to read? Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the second book of the Illuminae Files series, and you guys know all about that series by now. I'm not gonna go over it again. I read Illuminae in the beginning of April, and I loved it, and I would have jumped right into Gemina, because usually if I fall in love with the series, I binge it back to back. But I had set my TBR for the next 3 months, and I didn't want to abandon it that quickly. So I didn't. I stuck with it, and Gemina has been sitting on my bookshelf taunting me, torturing me for 3 months. This is definitely going to be the first book that I read in July. I cannot wait. Number 5, we need fire. Which 3 books would you be willing to burn from your shelf? And yes, you have to choose. Honestly, I have zero qualms about burning any of the books in my whole collection. If it's a survival situation and I need fire, I'm gonna do what needs to be done. But if I have to choose just 3, I'm gonna be practical about it and choose the biggest books that I own, because the bigger the book, the more fire I get. So let's start with Stephen King's Under the Dome. This is an absolute chunker of a book. I think it is a little over 1,000. Yeah, it's just over 1,000 pages, and it is large, so you've got a lot of fire starting right there. And then I've got The World of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. It just barely fits in the frame. That's how giant this book is. It's not that long. I think it's just over 300 pages, but look at the size of this. It's enormous. This one does hurt a little bit. This one would hurt a little bit to burn. And the last book is one that I took off my husband's bookshelf because the Consolidated Webster Encyclopedic Dictionary. I don't know why my husband has this book. It's literally falling apart. Look at this. But look. This is a monster. He definitely wins the contest for the biggest book in the house. I think this is like 1,500. It's about 1,500 pages long. This is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we would keep nice and toasty for quite some time. And I just ripped a little more. Sorry, hun. Number 6, all the stories were true. Which fictional world would you never be able to survive in? Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. If you've been living under a rock for the last quarter century and have no idea what Jurassic Park is about, it's about dinosaurs getting genetically engineered out of extinction and into a theme park, which of course goes horribly wrong and lots of people get eaten. I didn't actually read the book until I think I was at least a teenager, maybe in my 20s, but the movie came out when I was 8 or 9, and I was already totally obsessed with dinosaurs, so that movie was the absolute best thing that had happened to me in my entire life up until that point, and probably for a long time after. I wanted more than anything for Jurassic Park to be real. I wanted to see dinosaurs, I wanted to touch dinosaurs, I wanted to have a pet dinosaur, particularly a velociraptor. They were always my favorite. I don't know why, but I just love them. Now in my 30s, Jurassic Park is still my absolute favorite movie of all time, and I still love velociraptors, and I still would give almost anything for a pet velociraptor. So if I suddenly found myself in a real life Jurassic Park, guaranteed I'm gonna get eaten trying to pet a velociraptor. Number 7, lone survivor. Which character would you choose to be your companion or protector during the Abookalypse? Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore. Who else is gonna be more helpful in an apocalypse than one of the most powerful wizards of all time? Apparition alone would be priceless in that kind of a situation. He could apparate us away from danger, or to a place with more resources, or to a place where survivors are gathering, or just to shelter. He could conjure water and fire. He could not conjure food as per Gamp's law of elemental transfiguration, but as long as we had a little bit of food, he could make more of it and we would just never run out of food. He could put an undetectable extension charm on a backpack so we can carry everything that we could possibly need. He could put all sorts of protective enchantments around wherever we settle, and he's been known to fight off hordes of zombies even when he's on death's door. Plus, he'd just be nice to have around. He's so optimistic and kind and thoughtful and funny. He's so funny, and he's like, what, a century and a half old, so I bet he'd have a lot of great stories to tell. Plus, he's my favorite character in Harry Potter, so I just kind of want to meet him. Number 8, Procreate. All the literature is gone. Which book are you going to choose to be the first new classic? The entire Harry Potter series. I can't pick just one, don't make me. Harry Potter deals with so many important themes like love and family and friendship and death and good versus evil and confronting your fears and making your own choices. There's just so much in that series that could teach us about life and how best to live it. And Harry Potter is great for people of any age, so it would give adults something to read and discuss, but it would also help keep literacy alive in the younger generation and in future generations in this post-apocalyptic society that has no other literature. And also, I just love Harry Potter, and a small part of me would die if it was gone forever. And number 9, start a new community, tag a booktube buddy. I will tag Sarah at The Literary Life. I recently discovered her channel and she is hilarious. I love her so much. Jade at Jaded Reader. She is brand new to booktube and she's gonna need some tags to do, so here you go. And Kaylee at The Enchanted Library. There's that unwritten contract of friendship again. And that's it for the Abookalypse tag. I hope that I have survived the Abookalypse. Let me know down below if you agree with my picks or what else you would choose instead. And since we're on the topic of apocalypses, like I said, I love apocalyptic stuff, so give me a suggestion for a great apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic book to read. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, survive the apocalypse, and happy reading. Bye-bye.